What up, kinfolk? It's your boy Screwface Capone, aka the Do-Rag Gamer. Usually I like to do Twitch streams and the occasional political commentary track. But today I got a little something different. Like a lot of you, I'm a huge fan of retro gaming. In fact, I grew up playing the Nintendo, the Super Nintendo, the Sega Genesis. My dad even had a television system that I used to play. So nowadays, now I'm not much of a collector per se, like I don't have like all the old systems. So like anytime companies can re-release things, like compilation packs, the plug-and-play systems that have become popular, and even just like virtual console style re-releases. And of course, like a lot of you, I got a RetroPie full of emulators and ROMs, but I'm talking about ways you can replay these games legally. So, with that said, we're going to look at 3 devices that I came across recently that allow you to play retro style games, and we're going to unbox them and we're going to go through them. First up is the Data East Pixel Classic from My Arcade. Now I'm sure you've been in Target and you've been in Walmart or wherever and you've seen those little handheld games with 200, 300 retro inspired games. I was thinking about picking one up for the longest time, but I don't know the quality of the games on there. But it usually go around for like 20, 25 bucks. So I actually seen this at Walmart one time and it was like $24. So it has like 8 Data East games along with 300 other games. So it looks like the games on here are going to be the arcade games rather than the NES games, and that's something different. So for the Data East titles, you get Bad Dudes vs. Dragon Ninja, Caveman Ninja, Joe and Mac, Burger Time, Karate Champ, and a few other games. And of course, the iffy part about this is the hundreds of other games that are going to be on here. You don't know what quality they are or what kind of games they're going to be. Like if any of you are familiar with the At Games Genesis title, they give you like what 40-something actual Sega Genesis titles, but the rest will be something like, I don't know, Sudoku or whatever. But we're going to take a look at that in a second. And also we're going to take a look at the Go-Retro Portable. This is from Retrobit. That might be a name that's also familiar to collectors out there. Retrobit, they remanufacture console hardware. So I think it's called the Turbo Dual. I'm sure you might be familiar with that, which you can play the Nintendo cartridge, the Super Nintendo, and the Genesis cartridges like all in one console. And you can even use the old controllers, and even you play the Japanese version of the games. The thing about Retrobit is that they use the actual they rebuild the actual hardware wherever they use the emulators, like you see with other like mocked up third-party console hardware. Even with the NES Classic, that's just emulation. And if you see that upcoming Capcom joystick that's coming out, then that runs on a version of Final Build Alpha. So this cartridge is officially licensed by Capcom Data East Tetris. So along with a series of Capcom and Data East games, it also looks like we're going to get a version of Tetris on here. And as you can see, there's this device's design is obviously inspired by the Game Boy. And so you get like so these are like NES games or the arcade ones. So you get like Mega Man 2, Burger Time, 1943, Bionic Commando, and they say in it's like and there's going to be at least 260 other games on here, like sports, card games, action. So again, this is like one of those things where like some of them might be the official game, but who knows what the others might be. So we'll dive in and we'll take a look at that. And last but not least, here's another Retrobit device, the Super Retrocade. It's actually a mini plug-and-play console. I think it's a success. I don't know if it's you might seen the Retrobit flat. Well, not I don't think it's Retrobit, but the At Games flashback system that comes with like Capcom, Irene games, and whatever. But like this one, So this one has been officially licensed by Capcom, Irene, Technos, and Data East. So it's packed with over 90 popular retro games, as it says on here. So it's a mix of both console and arcade titles. So it looks like we're gonna get both the. So it's gonna be like both a selection of NES games along with arcade titles as well. It even got the choice for AV and HDMI. So now that that's over, we're gonna go ahead and do the unboxing. We're going to start first with the Data East Hits, the Pixel Classic. So let's open it up. There's the tape, so we're going to cut that off. I want to rip it, but it's a bit difficult to. Okay, here we go. So it looks like you get a user guide. Who reads those anymore? And here's the device itself. So you got the plastic clamshell, and there's a cardboard something in there. Why do we need the cardboard? Who knows? Alright. We can read. You probably can't read this from where I'm seeing, but playtime will vary depending on the brand of batteries used. For example, well-known battery brands tend to offer longer battery life and playtime. And this is a little sticker, so we're gonna go ahead and remove that. Now this thing feels like very, very hollow, like there's almost nothing in it at all. Looks like there's a little scratch on the top right corner of the screen. The screen looks like very, very flimsy too. That one came off. I don't know about this other one. It feels like if I press too hard on it, I'm going to break it. So the buttons, so there's a 5-inch and an AV out and an aux out. So I imagine, would imagine like these are obviously for headsets or whatever. And the 5-volt in, this is for a micro USB cable to charge it. But I don't think you can like play with it in. So yeah, it says you can use a micro USB to charge it, but you can't even charge that. And of course, they don't come with the batteries either. Okay, I bought these a little while ago, Duracell. Like they meant AAA, fuck. Yeah, I goofed up a bit, so let me go find some AAA and I'll be right back. Yeah, so that was pretty embarrassing. So, you're trying to do an unboxing video, you ain't even got the right batteries. So anyway, here is the unit. So on the top, this leftmost button will turn the unit off. The center one will turn the unit on, and the rightmost button will light up the buttons. And I know this looks a bit awkward. I moved it to my bedroom. Reason being is because there's a huge lens flare on here. So I want to try to show off the screen as close as possible. So yeah, this is a 308-in-1. So it's a pretty generic looking screen. Here's Bad Dudes. So here's the 8 Data East Classic games. I'm kind of concerned about this because these look like NES sprites. Here's Caveman Ninja. Let's start with Bad Dudes. Data East presents. Bad dudes. Blade Striker. It's like a one-player game, so there's really no difference between the two, literally. And of course, we can prevent that intro. I mean, what better way is there to motivate somebody than tell them that the president has been kidnapped by ninjas, and then questioning their badness? Now, as you can see, this is the Nintendo version of the game, not the arcade version like shown in the package. So immediately right there, we got a red flag. Yeah, so this is the NES version. Not a good look. Let's check out Caveman Ninja. I remember the first console port I know was on Super Nintendo. It might have been came on NES, but who knows? Caveman Ninja, aka Joe and Mac. Get ready, player one. 3 lives left. Yeah, so once again, we're looking at the NES version of the game. Or the 8-bit version. I know a lot of y'all can't see this. I apologize for that. Let's check another game. Check out Breakthrough. Fight your way through the mountains, watch for landmines and falling rockets. A fun little shoot 'em up and blaster game, but a nice little music. But again, this is the 8-bit version, and the package showed the 16-bit, the arcade version, which is kind of like, which is called false advertising. Let's take a look at some of the other games on the package, the non-DD stuff. Cut Fruit, Curly Monkey, Jam, Ken Punch, Thunderman, Vanguard, Battle Plan, Champion Boat. Oh, Curly Monkey. The first one was Curly Monkey too. Check out Thunderman. That looks cool. Thunderman. Trying to hit this guy, but I can't hit him. Okay. Doesn't really have anything here like save states or anything like that where you expect with an emulator. But let's go through some more stuff, see what they got. Try Cut Fruit. This one looks a bit more advanced. So you're moving the ninja left and right. That sprite looks familiar. You gotta cut the fruit when they fall down. Okay. So it's kind of like Fruit Ninja if you actually if there was a character control. And the ninja character looks familiar, but I don't know why. And you just keep going to the next stage when you... I'm trying something else. See, yeah, the Diddy's games shown are arcade games, but again we get the NES versions. Not a good look. Okay, Man in Red. What's this about? Man in Red. A man who wears red. Level 1. So like a clay shooter. So it's like missile invaders, but you're controlling an actual guy instead of a ship. Level 2. Level 3. Yeah, that's been fun. Let's try another game. Puppet Show. Yeah, these games look like those Chinese knockoff games that you see on those bootleg carts. Well, no, I take that back, because usually on those carts, I don't know if anyone remembers, like from several years ago, you see these mall people selling like these bootleg devices, and they'd have like 100 something NES games on it. Kind of what this reminds me of, but like most of these games are original, and it's officially licensed, I guess, by whoever owns the properties to Data East. Jed Rummy, Go Fish. See, if you got younger gamers, then this is a good one. This will be a nice little stocking stuffer for Christmas, but as far as a legitimate game machine, then I would pass. I mean, it's not bad, I guess. It's not really terrible. It's just kind of limited. The sore spot for me is like with the Data East games. They advertise the arcade ones, but you're getting the NES ones. Here's a racing game. I gotta apologize if the screen looks spotty, but like I'm doing a different setup, so, and there's like a ton of lens flare, so I can't quite get it the way I want to show it. Let's try one more now and move on to the next device. Mahjong Roulette Craps Old Maid. Shrew Mouse, Crazy Eights. Sunken Ship, The Hacker. This looks like it'd be fun. The Hacker. Gotta pick up these discs and gotta kick these enemies. I love it. Oh, no. Alright, so yeah, that's the Data East Classic. Now, the button quality isn't that bad at all. The A and B buttons are squared, and you got the start and the reset button, and not select. So, I mean, it is what it is. It's cheap. There's something for everyone as far as the game quality is concerned. So as far as a dedicated retro device, you can probably do better. But I'm not sure how many of these devices offer actual games licensed from Data East. So that's it for this device. So let's move on to the next, shall we? So that was the Retro Portable. So another thing I want to point out is these edges on the side are... they're not very comfortable when you're holding it and playing for longer periods of time. They're not, obviously they're not super painful, but you're more, when you're holding handheld systems, you're more used to them being rounded or whatever. But the buttons are sturdy. That's about one of the few pluses of the unit. Like I said before, the major red flag is that the packaging shows the arcade versions of the Data East games, but the actual unit has the NES versions. So that's done. Let's move on to the Go-Retro Portable. So we're going to go through the packaging. And it's similar to the last one. Here's an instruction manual. So you can tell, so like I said earlier, you can tell that these things were, designed, were inspired by the Game Boy. So let's remove it from the part. And again, here's the overlay you got to remove. And here we are. Now, the screen is actually this. It's actually similar to the last one, where like it feels like very flimsy. I mean, not loose, but like it feels like if you press through it too hard, you can easily break it. So here it, like I said, this directional pad is kind of similar to the NES one, and here's the B and A, they're rounded, and here's the TA and TB, and I assume that these are meant to be turbo buttons. TB, TV, here, select, start, and reset. It's kind of fitting as this is inspired by the NES. So again, if you look on the bottom, there is an AV out. There is a AV out and a jack for your noise, for your headphones, and there is also a micro USB hookup. Let's see if there's anything in here. No. And of course, here's the volume control. Like, it's just a straight wheel, unlike the My Arcade device. And so we're gonna pop in some batteries and start playing. Yeah, I apologize for the lighting and audio quality. I'm working with some pretty cheap stuff. I'm on a budget here. Gonna pop these bad boys in, run it up, and let's go. Alright, the screen here is definitely better than the screen quality here is definitely better than the My Classic. It's clear and there's no lens flare. Or that might just be because I'm playing at a different time of day. It's feature games and extra games. Huh, 8 Eyes, 1942, Bad News, Bad Street Brawler, Bionic Commando, Burger Time. I haven't seen 8 Eyes in a while. Thunderbolt 2, Treasure Master, Trojan, Pyramids of Ra, Rescue Mission, Sex and G, Side Pocket, San San, Street Fighter. That'll be Street Fighter 2020, not the classic Street Fighter we know. Strider. Mighty Final Fight, Motor City, Mutant Virus. Codename Viper. Yeah, so a lot of games that you don't normally see on these compilations. So let's go into... Unlike the... so with the Go-Retro, you know you're getting the NES port, so there's no issue there. And in fact, if you notice the packaging, they only show like 12 of the NES games that you get, but there's more NES games than that. So that's a good thing. Check out Mega Man 2. One of the best in the series. In the year 20X, a super robot named Mega Man. As far as the unit itself, it kind of feels pretty hollowed out. Oh boy, hold on a second, sorry about that. So it feels pretty hollowed out. I apologize, my camera just got loose. Sorry about that, my camera got loose, so I'll probably end up editing that out. Normal difficult. I never recorded a difficult setting on there, but hey. Metal Man, I always like his stage theme. So yeah, I apologize that you gotta watch this upside down, but... Oh no, I might flip it around because of the... when I go to edit it. Ooh. And remember, there's no... This is 2, so there's no slide and there's no rush. Oh, I see. So the dimly lit ones you can jump through. So this is a thing because of difficulty? Because I never recalled that in the original game. I'm gonna go reset it and try another game. 8 Eyes. Now, I remember this was published actually by a company known as... The game was developed by a company known as Thinking Rabbit. It was actually published by a company called Taxan. So I'm not sure why it's actually on here. The interesting part I want to show. The 2018 version has been published by Pico Interactive, so they have modified these games somewhat. So this is kind of like the bastard stepchild of Castlevania and Mega Man. Like, the gameplay is crap, but you gotta love the music. So you don't know what 8 Eyes is. You're playing as this guy and his Hawk companion. And you can actually bring in 2 players. Well, there's a 2-play option, but I don't think there's a way to link up another unit. How do I get in? Oh, we gotta hit that switch. Here we go. You also use up and A to use like attacks, and up and B to send your Hawk companion flying. Oh yeah, it's down and B. That's how you do it. I remember my parents getting this for me for Christmas. That's why I'm so familiar with it. Let's check out another game. Each time you hit reset, it goes back to that title screen, but it loads pretty quickly. Bat Street Brawler. Of all the games you can put on, I think some of these games never even made it to the U.S. Now, Target Renegade, I remember the NES version. Okay, so Pico, that's the one who's putting in all these old games. For those who don't know, I think Target Renegade is a sequel to a game called Renegade. But the original game Renegade was made by a company called Technos. It was actually a part of what was called the Kunio-kun series. Most people know Kunio-kun as Mr. Big has got your brother. Go get him, good luck, kid. Press fire to rumble. Of course, one of the installments was, of course, River City Ransom. But this new game, I guess I gotta press up and B to knock these guys off their helicopters. But anyway, this game wasn't actually developed by Technos, I don't think. It was actually developed by Oshin, if you saw on the title screen. So yeah, it basically went from being a Double Dragon spinoff to a Double Dragon ripoff. So I want to try one of the extra games, see what kind of stuff we got here. Aim Cruise, Archery, Arena, Aerial Warfare. This is like one of those things where they gotta switch the unit back and forth like back in the days. Here's a generic looking shooter. Well, actually, it's not. It's actually pretty good for what it is. I mean, yeah, it's generic, but I'm not sure about the isometric part. But oh yeah, this is a two-player game, but I'm wondering how you get a second player in. I'm not sure if there was anything in the instruction manual. Oh yeah, the instruction booklet has G codes. Well, you can't really see them because of the video quality, but oh wait, codename. They got codename Viper on here. Sweet. Yeah, I don't see anything in here about how to play two-player mode. Let me check something. Oh, codename Viper was actually a Capcom game. I was thinking of Vice Project Doom for some reason. This music that you'll hear in like a Disney game or something. Remember when like Capcom used to put out all those old school Disney games? Yeah, I'll call this game like Rolling Thunder on steroids. It's a pretty underrated operation. You go in these houses and you rescue hostages. Well, enough of that. I want to check out some more of the extra games. In fact, I want to see what I want to check out Tetris. Tetris, 1985 to 2018. So I guess this isn't any particular version of Tetris. It's just a version. It might be the Tengen version that, when Nintendo sued them, they had to recall it, but I'm not 100% sure because they never really played the Tengen version. Of course, there's old school Tetris. There's no piece swapping or no keep alive stuff. But I mean, it's Tetris. There's like a million different versions of it. Of course, what good would a Game Boy inspired machine be without a version of Tetris? As far as version of Tetris goes, it's pretty okay. Let's check out one more of the extra games. Bomb Time. So naturally, this is a Bomberman ripoff. So it's pretty much what you expect. Like there's like several legitimate games, but the rest are like generic stuff. But as far as the generic things go, these are actually pretty fun. And again, like the game selection of legit games, I'm not sure if I would have picked them, but they could have done worse. I mean, seeing Brad Street Brawl on here and 8 Eyes, I don't know. Of course, there's something like save states on here. Let's do one more and that'll be it. Backgammon, Blackstroke, Balloon Shot. Oh, it's a shooting game, and there's no title screen. So it's got all the music, you gotta shoot as many balloons as you can. Five-card draw. I don't know much about card games, so... I don't know. I don't know about card. 5-card draw. I'm gonna go to the next one. Let's do Ether Cruiser. It almost looks like it's trying to do a 3D feel, but you're going like all over the place. It's kind of like Asteroid, but they forgot to implement anything like turning or something. You can only go like up and down, but it's still a pretty fun game. So yeah, that was the Go-Retro Portable. It's only a better variety of legitimate games, and unlike the Data East one, there's no false advertising. So if you look at the packaging, there are actually more of the NES games on there than there are on here. So that's a good thing. The other ones are the other games are pretty generic. The other games are pretty generic, but as far as generic games are concerned, they're fun. And as far as I've seen so far, but none of them reuse any assets from Nintendo games. Again, the one bad part about it is, again, it requires four AAA batteries or a micro USB to play, and it comes with neither. And you can't use the micro USB to play this, to charge the system per se, because there's no internal battery that I know of. And the edges are a little bit better. They're smooth. They're smoothed out, unlike the Data East one. So it's definitely more comfortable. So if you're a fan of the old Game Boy and you want to get stocking stuffer, then you can do worse than this. If you're I would probably wait till it drops a little bit in price. But this isn't really a bad handheld. Probably, if not for yourself, then buy it for your kids. Show them what the old school games were like before Fortnite. And last but not least, we are going to take a look at the Retrocade. And there's over 90 games, and I think the entire game list is on it. So, without further ado, let's go ahead and unbox it. So this is another Go-Retro machine. Unlike their NES machine, their Turbo Duo, it's not based on any pre-existing console. So here's everything you get to it. With it. Here is the Retrocade. Here's the instruction manual. So yeah, it's smaller than the actual console itself is smaller than I imagined it would be. So yeah, here's the front. Here's one for controller 1 and controller 2. So you can either hook this up to a traditional CRT TV or an HDMI slot. And here's an SD card for what I assume maybe something like save states. Who knows? It comes with 2 controllers, so you and a friend can get busy right out the box. I'm going to open up one of them just to see what it looks like and how it feels. This is a nice little design. This the Nintendo Crosspad, the BAYX. So if I'm not mistaken, I think these are the same kind of controllers that come with the Retro Duo. Let me check this for. Yeah, because it's a USB, so it's a USB cable. So obviously, I assume you can play it using other controllers as well. So I wonder what you would use the SD card slot for. Would you mean like load more ROMs or more games on it? Who knows? Okay, so the SD card is for save states. You can also save it to internal storage, so I'm not sure what the... But who knows, somebody probably find a way to hack it and it's expandable. So of course it comes with an HDMI slot and the audio visual cable. So I think I'm going to go ahead and hook this up and see how it plays. So as you can see, I hooked this up to my TV. So I'm going to record some footage off it. So we're going to take a look at some of the games that's on this package. This is the menu. Settings. Let's check that out. Okay. Oh, you can even filter by like system genre. So that's pretty cool. Arcade, NES, SNES, Genesis. What's on Genesis? Okay, Mercs. Yeah, that never. Yeah, that only came out on Sega. Arcade, Genesis. Check out Arcade. Check out Mutant Fighter. This is from Data East. Fight, win the tournament, and take the throne. The kingdom will be yours. Player versus CPU. Interesting.
Of my hawk.
She looks like a wrestling game with beasts. Interesting. Ah. Here we go, hit him with a body slam. And then he dropped. Vince McMahon, eat your heart out. Ah. Uh-oh, this ain't good. Nice. That almost looks like a Mortal Kombat fatality. Check out another game. First of all, okay, so I gotta press both the start and save button at the same time to bring up this screen. But I guess it's natural. But it would be nice to have like something like a reset button. But I guess this is made to be as close to classic controllers as possible, so let's do a save slot. State successfully saved. It kind of looks like a MAME interface. Or at least that save slate does. Return to main menu. Okay, let's see what else we got on here. Show the NES selection. Okay, Holy Diver, Dark Lord. I don't recall those games ever being on the Nintendo, but we'll check them out. Spartan, Street Fighter 2010, of course. So where's River City Ransom? I thought Technos had games on here. And don't even have the NES version of Double Dragon? Come on now. Oh boy. Let's check out Holy Diver. Randy the hero is setting out to retrieve 5 emblem seals belonging to the King Crimson family in an attempt to expel the greatest evil, the Black Slayer. Irene for NES. Holy Diver. Stage Noroi no Koyakai. Oh, you can jump pretty high. Or... that's his magic. You gotta be quick. I got a life heart. So I'm playing this on my 32-inch HD TV, so actually looks pretty good. I'm definitely getting a Castlevania vibe out of this. It's kind of like a Castlevania meets Mega Man. I wonder if I get any. Oh, I can fire upward too. Sweet. That'll come in handy. Look at that skull with the snake going through. Looks gnarly even by 8-bit standards. Huh. Yeah, so I'm definitely getting the Castlevania vibe out of this. Ah, Twin Magic Fire. Okay, so I got match. Oh. So yeah, this game is definitely relentless. Let me check something else. Save for later. Okay. So that one's definitely different. They're not the interface for the save slot is not consistent. So obviously this is using emulators, so I wouldn't be surprised by that. Good old Mega Man 2. Dr. Wily's back. He has created more sinister robots to mount his attacks. As Mega Man, you've also grown in power and ability. Can you save mankind from the evil desires of Dr. Wily? Mega Man 2. In the year 2000X, a super robot named Mega Man was created. Dr. Light created Mega Man to stop the evil desires of Dr. Wily. Is that how the text went in the original version? However, after his defeat, Dr. Wily created 8 of his own robots to counter Mega Man. And it scrolls up the building. I always like this intro. Normal difficult. Got a lot of classic. Let's see how to, I'm going to see how the controls add up. I know we saw this earlier on the handheld. Now this is Mega Man 2, so there's no rush and there's no sliding attack. I always love the music in this stage. Of course, this stage is usually merciless with all the traps and devices. But you can come here and you can refill your power meter. Can you imagine playing this in 1989 or 1990 or whatever, and then finding out they made probably 100 jillion more of these games, including a bunch of spin-offs. And last year, you'd be playing the 11th one. Here's one up. I'll just skip it right now. Yeah, one's a little bit tricky. I'll just skip over it. I think there's a weapon that you need on these, but I obviously don't have it. And here we are, Dr. Wily. Well, no. The boss. Yeah, the boss in video games are all about figuring out patterns. So like once you figure out the trick, then it's pretty easy to stop him. I got an energy tank. Got him. Get equipped with metal blade. Actually, let's get up out of here. Huh, Kid Nicky Radical Ninja 2. I want to try it. Well, maybe we'll check that out later, because it looks like it's a Japanese only release. I think quite a few of these things are probably Japanese only release, because I don't ever remember seeing them on the original Nintendo. Alright, so there's a lot. You got Double Dragon 3, but they left out Double Dragon 2. And he left out the Nintendo version of Double Dragon 3, which was a better game. 3 Wonders, ooh, from X Multiply. Okay, here's Fighter's History, Mizoguchi. Now, some of you might remember Fighter's History, because it was actually a subject of a lawsuit between Data East and Capcom. This isn't the game that sparked the lawsuit, but it's obviously a sequel or a spinoff of some sorts, because it's like Japanese only language and it's starring Mizoguchi. But apparently Capcom had sued Data East because they felt that and he's fighting this metal guy, and that Fighter's History had ripped off their own Street Fighter 2. Now Capcom lost in court, but I think a lot of players kind of gave a lot of slack to the game because of its similarities or because of the lawsuit. Looking back, it really isn't that bad of a game, but there are a lot of similar things, but a lot of different fighting games around that time had that kind of issue. What's extra? I guess Mizoguchi would be the story mode. Oh, I see. Tag, survival, exit, practice. Okay. So this obviously isn't, like I said, this isn't that Fighter's History. It's the first one. And I'm kind of surprised that that's not on here either. You type at it. So let's go with Mizoguchi. Yeah, the text is all in Japanese. So yeah, this is definitely one of those games that never left Japan. Wait, this was on the arcade tab though. It's on the arcade tab, but was it actually released on Super Famicom? I'll have to look that up later. And right now, Ryoko is kicking my ass. I know there's another one of these things that was on the Neo Geo, which I'm also surprised. Like, why didn't put any Neo Geo games on here? Okay, and Ryoko definitely kicked my ass. Because the sprite effects and sound definitely sounds like something that will be on the Super Nintendo.
Round 2, fight!
Yikes, I'm getting killed here even on the easy mode. Pretty much just a Japanese schoolgirls. Yeah, check out another game. Fungi Wings, Blade Master. I already got the NES Burger Time. I'm about to say I could have a Data East on here and not have Burger Time. Okay, so you do have the Fighters history. It's the NES. It's the Super Nintendo one, and you got Super R-Type and R-Type 3. Major Title Golf, Magical Drop 2, Magical Drop. Yeah, so it's kind of funny seeing like both Capcom and Data East on here, both having games, and they're a super side pocket. Check that out. The main objective is to cross different cities and reach predetermined scores to go ahead. Remember, you'll have only 16 balls, and every error can be lethal. So it's kind of like a cross between a pull game and a puzzle game. And if you know where to look online, Iguana Entertainment. So Data East just published it. Iguana just developed this for it. If you know where to look online, there are actually like porn versions of this where the higher you score, then you get to see naked girls. Ew. Not her, unfortunately. But I guess you scored a no strip nude between the rounds. The trick is to get all these balls in. You gotta be in order too as you knock them down. You gotta get them all in quickly as possible. You can hold down Y to see what order they go in. I love the ball physics. God damn it. I want to get them all in order, but I'm just trying to get them in. Ah, sons of bitches. Yeah, I suck at pool. Here we go. Okay, great. Nearly avoided that. Pool is one of those games I suck at, but I always enjoy playing it whenever I can. There it is. I wonder if I get him in that zone like this. Nah, it's not gonna work. Oh well. Come on, damn, just missed it. I can get into that one. Hey, there we go. Five in a row. Alright, just barely enough to... and then got a little bonus stage. Ah, well. Go to the next city, Los Angeles. Oh no, Las Vegas. Insane broads follow me around everywhere. I like this music. Super. Let's see if I can sync that one. Ah, boy, that blows. Let's check out another game. Oh wait, SD save slot. Okay, let's wait till this is finished saving. Alright, return to main menu. Check out another arcade game. Let's do Boogie Wings. Boogie Wings is an action game developed by Data East and published by Data East, which was released in Europe in 1992. So I guess some of these are European only releases too.
The Great Ragtime Show.
The Great Ragtime Show. What the heck is that? I got a wrecking ball attachment? Oh, they get to pick up. So you get to pick up planes I defeated and swing them around. That's nifty. They get to pick up other weapons too. That's pretty cool. Oh wait, I destroyed my plane, so now. Oh wait, was I able to get into that tank? I got killed before I got to happen, but. Maybe I can get him with this and smack him in the face with it. You can pick up enemies. It's the same boss I've been fighting, but it's got like a different weak point. Okay, here we go. Oh sweet, I killed a battleship with my gun. Ragtime. When Island transfer Imperial Science Museum, Merry Merry Christmas. Let's go to Detroit Rock City. I can press A to drop it, and if there's a bomb, I can blow it up.
Hey, right on top of it. Ah. Yeah, I killed it before I could jump in that. So was that like another vehicle or a substitute plane? This game's really cool. I think Dead East was seriously underrated as an arcade developer. I think if a lot more of these games had gotten like home editions, then they would probably sell really well and they'd still be around. I think there was a compilation of games on the Wii like some years back. Okay, great, now I got a car. Now, as a plug-and-play machine, I think this has a better variety of games. I think even the NES, NES Classic, and definitely the PS1 Classic. Now, I mean, of course, like unlike those other two systems, this has the benefit of being. Oh, this car can jump. This has the benefit of having multiple systems. But like just the sheer amount of games that. Okay, getting that. How do I get in that? Okay, so I'm on this. So I'm on this catapult thingy. I just have to show you anyway. Like Rock City. So I mean, just the sheer variety of games and the amount of games make this a much better value than the NES Classic or the SNES Classic. Of course, there are a bunch of key omissions, like I barely see any Technos games at all, especially not ones that they're certain ones that you'd expect to be on here. Like I know there's a Renegade game and Double Dragon's on here, but not the NES version. And that was the one in the NES version of the game was the one I grew up with. I gotta think. So I think I'll play one more game and I'll put this on a save slot. Oh, I keep forgetting. Wait, that's an Android? Is that it? Android logo? Oh yeah, it's an Android logo. This thing is definitely using emulators. But I mean, for $60 you can do worse. So a lot of these games have both the arcade and the console version on here. Oh boy. Let's do one more game before I check it in. Oh, you can even mark your favorites. That's a cool thing. Let me check something real quick. Ooh, Double Dragon 3. Only one man knows the real story behind Marion's disappearance, and he's dead. Now the Double Dragons must rely on a mysterious fortune teller to locate Marion and her ransom. Okay, now that's not the plot. This is actually the arcade game, but that's the plot of the NES game. So this is actually to get, you can actually use quarters to buy power-ups in the shops, like actual real-world quarters. This game did microtransactions before microtransactions were cool. It's actually, in the NES version of this game, was a much better game. go to the weapons shop.
What would you like? You only need the trick. Energy trick. You can use trick. Thank you. Thank you.
So yeah, you could definitely hack it.
Thank you. Energy. Thank you. Trick. 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 You trick. Energy. Thank you. Attack power. Attack. Insert the coin.
So it looks like it's not one of those things where you can just max yourself out. I remember playing the Genesis version of this game way back, and you could like select from different characters. In fact, I think it was even 3 players. Alright. It's kind of choppy. I mean, as far as the series goes, I remember not being very impressed by it, but it really hasn't aged well. I do that jumping kick. But it's harder to do it on using this control pad. Okay. Yeah, come on. There, finally got him. All right. Ooh, Roni. Okay. So I get to play as another guy. He's pretty powerful. I got this guy trapped in the corner and punching him. Yeah, the mechanics of this game really weren't refined well. Yo, lady. The first zone is in China. Your battle is waiting for you, double dragons.
Mission 2, China.
Oh, well. Ah.
What would you like? Only need one trick. You trick. Thank you. Energy. You cannot trick. Thank you. Thank you. The fighting guy is on trick. Energy. Thank you. Attack power. You attack energy. Energy. Attack power. You can attack. Insert the coin.
Yeah, microtransactions, folks. Ah. And I'm being punked out by a bunch of Chinese midgets. I think that's good enough. So that was the Retro HD. Well, that was the Retrocade. Hope you guys enjoyed it. I think it's a pretty good system. There's a good selection of games. It's a pretty decent value, even though it's even if it does seem like it was cheaply put together in some places.
Before I wrap this video up, I just want to take one final look at each of the 3 gaming systems that I showed off in this video. First up, we have the Data East Pixel Classic from My Arcade. For what it's worth, you can hook it up to your TV with the AV out. It's got a cheap price point and it's got a huge amount of games, 308 to be exact. However, most of those games are filler, and as far as the Data East titles, the games that are advertised in the package are the arcade versions. However, you're actually getting the NES versions on the unit. So that bit of false advertising alone makes this a hard pass. Next up, we have the Go-Retro Portable from Retrobit, which promises Capcom and Data East titles along with a version of Tetris. So again, while this has a huge amount of games, most of those games are filler. However, it has more legitimate NES games than are advertised on the package. So that's actually a good thing if you're into obscure NES titles. And some of the NES titles aren't even made by Capcom or Data East. So that's a pretty good thing. You might find a few hidden gems on here. Again, like the Data East device, you can hook it up to your TV with the AV out, and the unit's design is clearly inspired by the Game Boy. So if you were into that system, then it'll definitely resonate with old school collectors. It should be noted that both this and the Data East device require either 4 AAA batteries or micro USB cords, but it comes with neither. And also, as far as I can tell, you can't use the micro USB to charge the unit. I might be wrong, but you have to play it while the micro USB is plugged in, which kind of defeats the purpose of having a handheld system. But while the $35 price point might be a bit steep, considering what it is, it might be a great stocking stuffer for a kid. You know, show them what games are like before Fortnite and all that. Or hey, maybe you just want some retro gaming on the go. I would definitely pick. I would pick one up. Finally, we have the Super Retrocade, also by Retrobit. And to me, this is the best of the 3 systems. It's a plug-and-play device, but I think it's one of the best plug-and-play systems on the market. I mean, there are 90 games on it. Not one of them is filler, and I would go as far as to say that this is better than the NES Classic, the Super Nintendo Classic, and the stuff in the PlayStation Classic, simply because of the amount of games on here and the variety of games on here. Now I know the unit definitely earns its $60 to $70 price point, and while the unit does use basic emulation, but there are a lot of hidden gems on here, including some games that were released only in Japan and only in Europe. So there's bound to be something for everybody. And like I showed off earlier, the menu interface is easy to navigate and it's easy to find what you're looking for. My only sore spot was like there are several games on here that should have been included but aren't. For instance, how are you gonna have Technos on here but not have River City Ransom? And you have Street Fighter 2010, but there's no version of Street Fighter 2. I mean, come on, you couldn't even put the SNES version on there? Now, come on now. But I mean, like, usually with these kinds of things, like plug and plays or retro compilations, you can usually think of like hundreds of games that should have been on there but aren't, and you'll probably notice several games on here that you probably don't like and probably feel shouldn't be. But all in all, this is a pretty great unit if you're looking for some retro gaming. And again, if you like if you're into more obscure stuff, then you might want to pick one up. What up, kinfolk? It's your boy Screwface Capone. I'm in the house one last time. I want to thank you all for sticking out through to the end of this video. I know the audio and visual quality was all over the place. I'm working with some cheap equipment, first of all, and this is my first big YouTube project that this ain't like one of my live streams where I repost it from Twitch or one of my commentary tracks where I just hit the button on OBS and go. I mean, I actually recorded footage, did some audio work, edited it, all that stuff. Hopefully this won't be my last one. I got a whole bunch of ideas kicking around my head. Maybe doing maybe 2 a month, once every 2 weeks. Who knows? Maybe I might do it once a week. I work a full-time job, so it's all about getting it to correspond with my schedule. But I'm definitely hoping to do more of these. So make sure you subscribe to the channel. Follow me on Twitter, Screwface Capone. Follow me on Twitch, Screwface Capone. I do live streams every few days or at least once a week. If you follow me on Twitter, that's where I usually announce what I'm going to play and when I'm going to play it. So you'll definitely want to keep up with me there. And I also got a website, WilliamTalley.com. That's WilliamTalley.com. It's still in its rough stages. I'm putting that together. So I'm just in the process, just preparing a lot of dope shit for y'all. Like I said, I got a lot of ideas kicking around my head. I got this really huge documentary style project that I'm trying to put together right now. So you'll want to watch for that. And again, leave me a message in the comments. Tell me what you like. Tell me even if you don't like it, or you want to tell me how much I suck, or if you want to tell me how much you like me, then let me know. But once again, it's Sunday night, May 12th, 7:23 p.m. So again, thank you for watching, and I hope you have a safe, productive, and fun week.